lives.
Apprentice lives. That's right, folks. So here I am, like always, Lord of Shadows here tonight, as you can see, to do my first ever Star Wars Rebels review, season 2, and in what better way to begin it with the first premiere episode, Siege of Lothal. Now, before I came to the episode itself, about review and everything, the only thing I wish to say is, for the ones who didn't watch the episode, spoiler alert, don't watch it if you don't want to, but if you didn't see the episode, I suggest you to watch it because it's awesome. 45 minutes of pure awesomeness. You're gonna love the episode. You're gonna love it. And another thing, you do also, everybody knows that this episode was a premiere of season 2. And so the next Saturday or Monday, I don't know, don't expect any other Star Wars Rebels Season 2 episodes, because the other episodes is gonna come in the fall, which means we'll be somewhere in September or October. I think it will be October, like the first season begins. So maybe it will be October, like the first one. I don't know. But for now, let's begin with the episode review. I really like the whole episode. I mean, the actions, the story, the progression, the lightsaber fight, and at the end, when Ashoka finds out the truth about Darth Vader, who she really is, and all these powerful and important points of the episodes. So before I came, like I said, to the review, we have only few important points. Oh, and by the way, it's a pan. It looks like a bullet. It's not a real bullet, it's a pan. But it's made of a real bullet. Fantastic, is it? Huh? Pretty. So, like I said, we have few important points in the Siege of Lothal. One of them is, and most important is, James Earl Jones is coming back has come back to voice Darth Vader, and we also have a little bit of appearance in a hologram style of Lando Calrissian, voiced by none other than the old actor Billy D. Williams, the ones who act like Lando Calrissian in the first trilogy in the 70s and 80s. So you get the point. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like I said, Ahsoka Tano finally knows the truth, who Darth Vader really is, or should I say, her former Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker. That's another thing. The third part, and the most important, is that Minister Maketua, if you remember from the season 1, old girl blue, dressed in some kind of blue outfit, military outfit, something like that, whatever. She's killed off the screen in the Siege of Lothal. And believe me, permanent, with a really big bang. The other parts are Tarkin Town from season 2 is totally burned down, destroyed, and the other part is Ezra's old house, where he and his parents lived, is destroyed too. So that's the main parts. And now we begin with this totally episode, one step by another. So the episodes, begins like always. A fight in the space, somewhere between the planet of Lothal, against the Star Destroyers and the TIE Fighters and everything. And the Ghost Crew always, trying to attack and defend us, much blood and everything, with the other Rebel Alliance. And also, by the way, I tried to mention that in this new episode, we found out some new characters, supporting characters. Rebel Alliance Commander, who I think is called Commander Saddle, I believe. Yeah, Commander Saddle was called. And, as a part of the Rebel Alliance and everything. So, I do believe, we will find out a little bit more in this season 2, about Rebel Alliance, the new characters, and much more everything. But let's talk about the episode. So, The beginning, like I said, a normal space fight between the Ghost Crew, the Rebel Lands, and the Imperial Star Destroyers and a few TIE Fighters. And of course, in that fight, the Ghost Crew, they steal some boxes. Well, you should say boxes because I don't actually remember, how these boxes are called in Star Wars, but whatever. I don't know what's in them because after when I saw the episode, they didn't show what's contained in this box, so they just practically steal it. That's the first thing. And the other thing is, like I said, by the way, the Siege of Lothal is like it's part 1, part 2. So for my opinion, it's like this. So part 1 is, when they try to make Minister Tua, trying to make her escape without any worries, that the Darth Vader and Kallus were gonna come there and kill her off the screen. But I will get to that. So the first part is, taking this new information from Minister Tua and, take her away from the planet Lothal system. And of course, her elimination of the screen of the Siege of Lothal episode. And the second part is, when Darth Vader tries to make some kind of blockades, not only on Lothal, but also all around the planet, so the rebels can escape. So those are the two important parts of this episode. So I'll give it with the first part. So after the normal fight, in the universe and everything, in outer space, out of the Lothal planet. Then we have a few scenes, Kallus and arguing with, and Darth Vader arguing with Minister Tua, about the failing and everything, and about Grand Moff Tarkin, that insignificant, miserable, bastard old man that wants to get revenge, on these rebels. Because if you saw the season 1 finale, Fire Across the Galaxy, the rebels, Kanan Jarrus, Ezra, and everybody of the Ghost Crew, they destroyed his personal TIE destroyer. So that's why Kallus said that he thinks that as a personal matter. Like he wants to see Lothal punished, by how they think, they try to hide his rebel cells and everything, rebel cell. So, and that's one thing. So, in a few words, when I'm not going scene to scene, I was just saying this. In a few words, is that after this prior conversation between Kallus and Darth Vader, with Minister Tua, because in that way, when they say, about her failure and everything, that what she did is not enough. She still need to do something much more bigger, trying to stop this rebel cell and everything, the Ghost Crew. And of course, they try to scare the shit out of her when they say, that she have to meet, that the other day she had to meet Tarkin, about discussing all these failures, what she did. So in some way, they try to scare the shit out of her. And then you have, the second part on the Rebel Alliance main ship, there we have a transmission. If you heard the barking, it's just my fucking dog. So we have a transmission, when Minister Tua, she's stabbed in the back, the Empire, and asks the rebels for help so they can, get her ass out of Lothal and in a safe place. I really love, I really, really love to see, some kind of subordinates of a criminal society, when they try to stab them in the back, betray them and everything. I really love traitors, but you have to remember that sometimes, these traitors, they got away, but 85%, they're done, off screen. Because if you remember, when you betray someone or some organization or a big one like the Empire from Star Wars Rebels, from Star Wars universe, you have to remember how much bigger and powerful organization is. Sometimes, if you don't succeed, trying to escape them, you have to pay the price, like Minister Tua did. So, at the beginning, like I said, she offers them, in exchange on getting her ass out of Lothal, she just trying to offer them two things, to make them, some kind of be even, so they can make it even. So the first thing what she offers them is a list of people of Lothal who are interested to be in the rebel cell and everything, to help them against the Empire. And the other thing is, and I think it was the important one, some big it appears that the Tua found out something, some big secret, something that some real reason, should I say it like that, a real reason, why the Empire went to Lothal. Because at the beginning, Hera said that they come here, for those some. I wish she said some kind of a mines, something like that. I didn't recall it. But the real was another bigger reason why they came here, and the only few in the Empire, only few know, and it was ordered by Darth Sidious, Emperor Palpatine himself. And you know that if something was ordered by him, there must be something really, really big in this quest. So, well, in the first, we didn't see what this big secret was in the episode 1. So, I believe that maybe this secret is going to be 100% revealed somewhere in the beginning of the season 2. I mean, I know it will be in the first episode or in the middle or something like that. I don't know. But that's one of the few parts. That's one of the main parts. And the second one is, like I said, when the rebels came there and tried to help Minister Tua escape from Lothal and everything, but of course, unfortunately, thanks to Darth Vader and Agent Cullis, she was eliminated off the screen. Permanent. By entering in the Imperial shell, and it was already an explosive there and blew up. Along with her. Because it appears like Vader, like always, they wait. The villains always, when they try to make something, they always wait the right time and the right moment, to activate some kind of a trap or a bomb, whatever. So then the same thing Darth Vader did. And that's the first part, of this episode. That is very important. Oh, and before that, in this first part of the episode Siege of Lothal, we have a scene where Kanan Jarrus disguised himself as a stormtrooper, trying to enter, in the main base of Lothal, of the Lothal main part of the city, trying to get to Tua and put her to safe and everything. And before I get to the real point, there are a few things what I saw in Siege of Lothal that remind me of Star Wars Episode 4. One of them was when Kanan, disguised himself as a stormtrooper, and there was, which in Episode 4 was Han Solo and Luke Skywalker were in the same way disguised as stormtroopers when they tried to save Princess Leia. So the only difference is that Kanan was the one who disguised himself, and they tried to save this Minister Tua. But the point is the same. Only different stories and characters. There's one thing. The other thing that is very similar to Episode 4 is the burning of Tarkin Town. When Ezra, was worried about seeing this big smoke and everything going up in the sky, and he was, just riding to Tarkin Town and seeing everything burn, everything, destroyed. That's exactly the same scene happened to Luke Skywalker, except that there were not only normal people burned down, but they were only killed, his uncle and aunt in Episode 4. That's one, and there's another point of view, that is similar to Episode 4. The third one is, when he said, "I'm not afraid, of all this danger they have and everything." That's the same thing what happened to Luke. Like the same thing. You have to remember that. And now, before I begin with the second part, here comes the big thing. The lightsaber duel between Kanan, Ezra, and Darth Vader. That was one of the greatest parts in the episode. And I believe it is. Really is. I mean, the lightsaber was awesome. Even if it was not some kind of symbol of danger, seeing a tough opponent and everything, but was some kind of a symbol, as a beginning. That the lightsabers duel, like they were, just afraid, like in the Death Star of Episode 4, when, no, sorry, yeah. When they, every time, you know, when they have a small fight, you know, only trying to escape, you know, all this time. That was the same thing here on Siege of Lothal. And I believe, you know, it's just seeing the strength, you know, and fighting skills and everything, and it was so amazing. So amazing. I mean, you know, if you watch the episode, you know what happened. Because everybody knows how Darth Vader strong is, and everybody knows that Kanan and Ezra didn't have a chance against them. I mean, it was really pretty tough when they fight the Inquisitor in Season 1, but this thing is much more worse, because we're not talking about a normal Inquisitor here, we're talking about a Sith Lord. A higher rank than an Inquisitor, because if you watch my character discussion about the two Inquisitors in Rebels for Star Wars Rebels Season 2, you will understand what I'm saying. Because Inquisitors are just normal Jedi hunters, you know, trained on the dark side of the Force, but not completely. So, you know, they're simple warriors, but when we're talking about Sith Lord, that's a much more bigger thing, and you know that. And you know, just, you know, everybody knows how like I said, that Darth Vader, how much powerful it is and everything. You know, for killing Kanan, you know, when he, you know, just take his hand, you know, rise him up, you know, in the air. He just need, you know, to take his lightsaber and kill him off, you know, in a second. And that's the same thing with Ezra. You know, when he tries to, you know, control his hand and putting the lightsaber, you know, near his throat, and, you know, just cut it off his head. But we didn't see that because they're the main heroes, and this lightsaber only represents the beginning of a true fight. And, you know, there was one part, and the second part is, you know, when the rebel cell, when the Ghost Crew was trying to escape from Vader and from the Stormtroopers. You know, when they just, you know, just push Darth Vader away, you know, hit him on the ground, and they, you know, just let a walker, you know, just fall down to him and everything. You know, it was like, oh, okay, we're fine, Darth Vader's gone, and everything, but no, he is not. You know, the scene, you know, everything is burning, you know, destroying because the walker exploded and everything. There you have, you know, the scene, the amazing badass scene of Vader, you know, just putting his hand like that, rising the walker, you know, just free himself and everything, you know, it was so magnificent, so wonderful, beautiful, badass beautiful. You know, the scene is so much powerful, you know, to show the Ghost Crew, show the main characters, no, he's not an ordinary villain, no, just give him one punch or one strike with a blade, he's done. No, this is totally different. They talk about Vader. You're talking about Vader here. Of course, different. So there was the lightsaber. So that was about the lightsaber duel, you know, between part 1 of Siege of Lothal and part 2. And before I came to the part 2, I just want to wish to add, you know, like I said, we have Lando Calrissian and we have also Lando Calrissian, you know, here appearing in the Siege of Lothal in a hologram style, like I said before, but still something. I mean, just seeing two legendary actors, you know, here again, like they were in the old trilogy, you know, Billy D. Williams, you know, the actor who acted as the Lando Calrissian, you know, in the first trilogy, and James Earl Jones, who voiced Darth Vader. You know, just seeing the old legends all put together, you know, acting like they were in good old days. Wonderful. It was really, really beautiful. It really was. So, yeah, about the lightsaber fight, shouldn't add anything more, because it was beautiful, it was short, but you know, all the strikes that Vader give them and everything, and the fight, it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. It really was. And now we begin the second part. The second part, like I said, of Siege of Lothal is simple. You know, when the rebels try to escape from Lothal, and Darth Vader, you know, just put all the blockade around the planet, and the Lothal, you know, just they can't get away, you know, they can be captured and everything, because, like Darth Vader say, we will squeeze Lothal until someone reveals the whereabouts of these traitors. And when he said that, he meant it. So in the short words, you know, thanks to the Lando Calrissian, thanks to the help of Lando Calrissian, they use, you know, just a normal transporting shell, Imperial shell, you know, just to get away from the fall and, you know, to pass the blockade. And of course they did. But there's one thing in particular that they didn't know. That in that time, when I mean the admirals and on the Star Destroyers and everything, they didn't know a thing. You know what I mean? Oh no, the past, they escaped. Now we're screwed up. Darth Vader's gonna kill us and everything. No, Darth Vader planned that way because he put a tracking device on that shuttle, so they can follow the Rebel Alliance and find out where they are. And there's before that, when Vader said, "Prepare my ship for me to take off," I thought it would be a normal Imperial shuttle, but I was wrong. It was his own private TIE fighter, like he had in Episode 4. Darth Vader is seriously what's called a one-man fleet, because only him. It was only him. After they put the tracking device and everything, when they arrived to the main part of the Rebel Alliance, where all the ships are, with the Ahsoka Tano and Commander Sato, there you have out of nowhere just one TIE fighter, and who else inside? Darth Vader. I tell you, he's a one-man fleet. It is. He is. I mean, even when Anakin Skywalker was just a kid, he was one of the great pilots. He was. When he was just a kid, he destroyed in Phantom Menace. He destroyed by himself with it was 2 or 3 blows. But he destroyed, one of the main headquarters that were around Naboo. And after all that, how he moves and everything, after the close attack in the Clone Wars, and the beginning of the Revenge of the Sith, he was a great pilot. I mean, every time, from the Phantom Menace to Revenge of the Sith, we saw Anakin Skywalker. Like I said, in the shadow, fighting against the enemies and everything. But the only time when we saw Darth Vader, flying and shooting was in Episode 4. And now we had a chance to see it again. And it was magnificent. I mean, Darth Vader really is a badass. I mean, he deserves to be called the one-man fleet. Because him alone can do a thing what 1,000 soldiers cannot do. He really does. And after all that, when Darth Vader appeared and everything, here we have the Ghost Crew and Ahsoka Tano, get ready to fight against this TIE fighter and everything. And of course, with the Ghost Crew, there we have the other Rebel pilots, just to help them and everything. But of course, Darth Vader destroyed in a second. And they are. And he's a really good shooter too. So after that, here's the best part. When the Ghost Crew was trying to attack Darth Vader in the TIE fighter, Ahsoka Tano said the Force is strong with this one, with this guy. And then when he tried to Kanan, just approaching her and grabbing her from right here, and Ahsoka just going, they close their eyes and use the Force, try to contact with him, psychologically, to see how much strong he is and who he is. And there's where you have, as we said, there's something familiar. The cold, the anger, the fear, the hate. And there you have, I don't know, but when you see Ahsoka's, expression, she said, something's wrong. Something's familiar about that guy. Who he is? And then, she found out who he is. But before that, Darth Vader, he sends her present connected with the Force. He was just like that, with the hand. So something's wrong. A present, something like that. And then he said, "The apprentice lives." Yeah. I didn't expect it will happen in the first episode, but they made a contact. Now Ahsoka Tano knows who Darth Vader is, and now Darth Vader knows who she is. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Just seeing her expression, shocking everything, and after that, faith and everything. Just surprising, that Darth Vader is her former master, Anakin Skywalker. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. It was really. And it was one of the best parts. The lightsaber fight was my first best part. The second one was when Ahsoka Tano finally, find out who is Darth Vader. It really is. And after all that, when she find out and Darth Vader find out, He just said, try to avoid the attack and everything, and he said, try to surround the rebels on the ghost ship. And he said, but don't shoot. I want these rebels alive. I mean, if he wouldn't yet find out who Ashoka was, he would kill them. No, just shoot them and everything. But when he find out who she is, no, I want them alive. Personally, Ashoka, especially her. Oh man, it was amazing. It was amazing. After all that, of course with with the thingy, how was it called? Wait, hyperspace, right? After all this fight and everything, of course, Darth Vader and when the Star Destroyers came, well, they succeeded to destroy the main battleship of the Rebel Alliance, and for now, the Empire won, because like Dave Filoni said, and everybody, when they're doing the Star Wars Rebel Season 2, they really said that this Season 2 is going to be some kind of the Empire Strikes Back, and the first season was some kind of a New Hope, but more like a spark of rebellion. But yes, it was some kind of a New Hope, and Season 2 will be some kind of the Empire Strikes Back. And when you see this episode, they really strike it deeply. So yeah, like I said, so that's one main part. And after you see the fighters, just in the hyperspace, they escaped. And the funny part was, Hera was just waiting the right moment, just to take the hyperspace, because she was waiting that Darth Vader came right in the middle of the Star Destroyers, just so they can squash him and everything, and they almost did. And if they did, bye Vader. And after all that, everything, they just arrived and everything, everything was fine. And of course, for Yama wasn't. But he said, to his soldier, the one who said it was Lord Vader's ship, he said, no, don't worry, it's not your fault. But Vader will think it is. You know what that means. Oh, he's dead. All right. So in the rest of the rest part of the episode, was simple. Everyone was happy and everything, just escaping for now. And of course, after Ahsoka Tano, find out who Darth Vader is, I understand why she didn't want to tell Ezra and Kanan who he really is, especially in front of Ezra, because that's what I think too. Because in this episode and in season 2, Ahsoka Tano, like the voice actors who voice her, she said that the Ahsoka Tano in season 2 she'll be something like Obi-Wan Kenobi was for Luke Skywalker in episode 4. Like a mentor and everything, and some kind of who will guide him and everything. I believe that too. Because, well, I understand why she didn't want to tell Ezra about the Siege of about Darth Vader, who he really is, because then Ezra was thinking, Jedi can do that. Jedi can become Sith Lords and everything. Because if I remember, Ezra even don't know who the Sith are. The only thing what he knows now, who are the Inquisitors, but Sith Lords, no. Sorry about that. This fucking phone. Sorry. So, like I said, I understand why Ahsoka Tano didn't want to tell in front of Ezra who Darth Vader really is, because, well, actually, I believe that she thinks this as a personal matter. Because, she was wondering, why Anakin Skywalker is a Sith Lord, why he became bad and everything, what really happened, and much more you understand. So, for now, I think it's better that she didn't tell anything to Ezra, because that's the same way like Obi-Wan didn't say at the beginning who really Darth Vader is, his father. He didn't tell him at the beginning who his father is. He only tell him metaphorically, like in some point of view, that Darth Vader killed his father, psychologically. Like the things what Anakin was before when he became Darth Vader is long since been lost. So I understand that and I appreciate that. So for now, it's okay. So at the end, the one most hated part, mine, the chat between Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine. Why they didn't see? Why didn't show him in his face how he looks like in character design? Why? Why didn't show his face? Why? But then somehow I understand. I mean, he's the Emperor and everything, because like Darth Vader, Darth Sidious is also some kind of a special character, and when you have some character like that, like Darth Vader, you have to, you know, do it one step by another, not few steps in one time. So it was cool. Even if I didn't see his face, I really wanted to see his character design, but it was okay. It was okay. So, damn, this is one of my longest videos I ever did. No, wait. No, the character One Piece discussion of Kaido was my longest. But whatever. This is the last scene, and before I came to the end, I just what I wish to tell is that now the Emperor, even the Emperor, Palpatine now knows who Ahsoka Tano is, and that she survived. And of course, Vader and him, you know, they just used this opportunity, you know, that she will lead them to the other remaining Jedis. Like Vader said, such as Kenobi? Perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. Because Kenobi is the Jedi he really wants to destroy. I mean, after their little chat, violent one on Mustafar. So here I'm done. I mean, the only thing I can say is that it's really great to see, you know, Sam Witwer, you know, voicing Palpatine again like he did in Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. Because every time when I hear him, I just every time when I hear him, I just, you know, pretend, you know, like Ian McDiarmid is there, because he really nailed it with the voice of Darth Sidious. He really did, and I'm glad about that. It's really good. So here I am done. I mean, this video is really long, one of my longest. So here I'm done. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. You know, for this person think about Siege of Lothal. I mean, the ones who watched the episode. Drop me a like, I really appreciate that. You know, personal opinions, what you really think, you know, about the relationship between Ahsoka and Darth Vader, what's gonna happen and everything. So, oh yeah, before that, this was only the episode review. About, you know, what I really expect from season 2 and about the Ahsoka, Darth Vader, you know, the characters and everything. I will make a special video, you know, discussion about that, and I presume I will do it tomorrow, somewhere tomorrow. I don't know, but I promise that I will get the video. We will talk about a little bit about that. So for now, I only did the episode review. So please everyone. Oh yeah, before I get into that, the notes, the points, 1 to 10. What do you think? Premiere, first episode, awesome, great story, great progression, 10 out of 10. Definitely 10 out of 10. Especially that Darth Vader wasn't there. 10 out of 10. Peace everyone. Have an awesome rest of the night. To the other side of the world. Have an awesome rest of the day. Lord Shadows signing off. See you around.